Mr. Deputy Chairman, after all labor legislations in all countries have to be gradually evolved, and what is good in one country cannot be wholesale copied in another country because it is to have reference to the economic conditions and also to the employment or unemployment factor in that country. Countries gradually develop industries and other social conditions, but sort of a revolution, it is not possible to put into practice all the things of which we approve in principle. We have come to a very much higher stage as far as the interests of the workers are concerned during the last 15 years, and although we would like to see that even in the agricultural field minimum wages are guaranteed, such states which tried to bring in minimum wages legislation as long ago as about 6 years back found it impossible to put it into practice, as has been already referred to by another honorable member, due to the reasons of expense of implementation and the existing conditions. Supposing I would ask the members on the other side, we were to make rules about minimum wages with regard to domestic servants, what would happen? All that would happen is that people would stop engaging servants because they are unable to pay them, and the result would be that there would be more unemployment. I need not develop this point further because it is for this reason that it has been found difficult to apply the minimum wages in the case of agricultural laborers. Sir, I know for a fact that in some places where the employees thought that minimum wages would be enforced in regard to agricultural labor, they stopped cultivating certain portions of the land, and the result was that the land remained fallow. So we have to take the overall position, the balanced picture into consideration, and though always aiming, as the government is certainly aiming at bettering the conditions of the unemployed in bringing about the socialist pattern in as rapid a manner as possible, we have to see that the very objectives for which we stand are not defeated. Sir, I would like to say another word with regard to the remarks made about bringing in an ordinance with reference to the recent strike. Sir, only when people are saddled with some responsibilities, they have to realize that they have to take certain steps. I am sure, sir, even the people on the opposition side who are today in power in Kerala would be able to say what success they got with their experimenting, because without making the state banking, without borrowing, we have to see that our purse is long enough to meet the changes on it. For that very reason, I would ask what they would have done if at the 11th hour there is a sudden demand on the exchequer, a demand such that it would not be able to bear without unfairness to the other services. I would also ask, sir, a question which I have not been able to ask of the many people who should perhaps be held responsible for replying to the question, and that is that in deciding on a certain minimum wage, we have to see that in giving more to one sector of industry, we do not do injustice to the other sector. I know, sir, that in deciding on minimum wages, we have to take so many factors into consideration. Now, in the coal industry, first they were given a wage of rupees 69 and the unions there were not fully satisfied and they had demanded a wage of rupees 132. Having gone deep into the pros and cons of the matter, they were ultimately on appeal given only rupees 80, although it was felt that for a minimum standard of living, particularly in that hazardous industry, rupees 132 for a worker with a wife and two children were just enough to give a standard of what we may call a cultural life. But, sir, one would ask, what do the people in other places get? I am leaving aside the coal industry because mining on the whole is a very hazardous industry. Let us take the other concerns like the railways, for instance, or the postal department, which was in the news till the other day, and now the station masters have given notice of their demands and their strike. Now let us take the postal employees. Should we not ask these people to consider how far, in order to hold the balance even, we will be able to give the same to the other employees under government in different places? So we can have a solution, and we have to have some sort of a solution which will not be an overall solution. That people in Mofussil places would be paid less, or that people employed in large cities where a higher standard of living prevails will be given more. Stop. दोस्तों इसी के साथ